Chosen one. Today, Archangel Michael says, do not skip this. God is trying to reach you, and this is the moment he chose. Something unexpected is going to happen. Suddenly, my beloved child, stay until the end. Something enormous is waiting for you here. Listen closely, because in this very second, yes, this exact moment, a silent call is reaching you from above. This is not about danger. It is about fate, about destiny, about the divine appointment you have been waiting for without even knowing it. Many signs have been sent to you before, small whispers, gentle nudges, dreams that felt too real. Moments when time seemed to stand still, conversations that stayed with you for days. But right now, heaven has stopped everything to talk to you. The angels have paused. The veil between what is seen and what is unseen has thinned. My beloved child, do not move. What is next will stop you in your tracks. This is not like the other content you have watched today. This is a divine interruption, a holy intervention, a sacred moment that was written in the books of heaven before you were born. Some of you have felt that strange pull lately, that sudden weight in your chest. That moment when your heart told you something is coming. You have woken up at 3 in the morning, wide awake, feeling like something was about to shift. You have been in the middle of an ordinary moment when an extraordinary knowing washed over you. That was not anxiety. That was not overthinking. That was heaven breaking through the noise of your daily life. That was the invitation you have been waiting for arriving in the only language your spirit could hear it in. And tonight, the invitation arrives in words. Stay. Do not scroll. Go to the comments right now and type, I pressed through. And subscribe, because what is building in this channel carries the next layer of what tonight is beginning. Now, stay with me, because what I am about to take you into is the story of the person in the crowd who had been bleeding for 12 years. And I believe it is the most specific portrait of where you are right now in all of Scripture. Mark chapter 5. A crowd was pressing around Jesus. People everywhere, everyone touching, everyone close, and in that crowd, a woman, 12 years. She had been bleeding for 12 years, not a cold, not a temporary condition, 12 years of the thing that would not stop. 12 years of isolation because the law said anyone in her condition made whatever they touched ceremonially unclean. 12 years of not being able to reach out, of withdrawing the hand before it made contact, of standing at the edge of every gathering rather than pressing to the center. And the text says something devastating. She had suffered under many physicians. She had spent everything she had and had not gotten better, but had grown worse. I need you to sit with that specific progression. Not. She had tried several things and they had not worked. She had spent everything and grown worse. The resources went out and the condition increased. Chosen one, I want to speak to the specific exhaustion of someone who has done everything correctly, sought every available help, spent what they had, followed the directions of every physician, and watched the condition not improve, but deepen. That is not a faith problem. That is the specific setup for the kind of miracle that has only one explanation. Because when you have tried everything and grown worse, there is no physician who can take credit for the healing. When the resources are gone and the condition has deepened, there is no human strategy that can claim the result. The only explanation left is the hem, and that is exactly where this woman was when she heard about Jesus. She heard about Jesus. Not. She saw him. Not. He came to her. She heard about him. And that word, that report, that testimony, that thing someone said about what had been happening in his vicinity, went into the place where 12 years of the condition had been living. And something shifted, something decided, and she said to herself, if I only touch his garment, I will be made well. Not if he lays hands on me, not if I can get a private audience, not if conditions are right, if I only touch his garment, the hem, the edge, the outermost reach of his presence. That is all she was asking for, and I want to speak to that specific faith tonight. The faith that does not ask for the full encounter. That does not require the personal audience. That does not need the elaborate ceremony. The faith that says, if I can just get close enough to touch the edge, if I can just press through the crowd far enough to reach the outermost part of what he is carrying, that will be enough. Chosen one, that is the faith being honored tonight. Not the faith of the front row, not the faith of the inner circle. The faith that presses through with 12 years of the condition still active, with the empty accounts still showing, with the crowd between you and the hem and reaches. Do not skip this next part, because the miracle almost did not happen. Not because the power was not there, because the crowd was there first. She had to press through people who had no idea what she was carrying. People who were not trying to stop her, but were simply occupying the space between her and the hem. The crowd does not know your condition. The crowd does not know what 12 years cost. The crowd does not know what the physicians said. The crowd is just the crowd, and she pressed through anyway, not with force, not with anger, with the specific, quiet, determined movement of someone who has run out of alternatives and has arrived at the last option. She pressed through. She reached, she touched the hem, and immediately the flow of blood dried up. And she felt in her body that she was healed of the disease, not gradually, immediately, not partially, completely. The thing that 12 years had not been able to do, that all the physicians could not accomplish, was done in the moment the hem was touched. And then Jesus stopped, in the middle of a pressing crowd, in the middle of being surrounded on all sides. He stopped and said, "Who touched my garments?" His disciples said, "You see the crowd pressing around you, and yet you say, 'Who touched me?' Everyone is touching you." The question makes no sense, but Jesus knew. He knew because he perceived that power had gone out from him, not from the crowd, from him, specifically, directionally, toward whoever had touched with that kind of faith. And the woman came, knowing what had happened to her, fell down before him, and told him the whole truth. And Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace, and be healed of your disease." I need to speak to every word of that sentence, daughter. This is the only time in the Gospels that Jesus addresses a woman as daughter. Not woman, not child, not, "Hey, you daughter." 12 years of the condition had made her ceremonially untouchable. 12 years of the isolation had placed her outside the circle of belonging, and Jesus names her into the center of it. He claims her as family. He says, "Daughter, that is not just a healing. That is a restoration of identity." The condition took her place in the circle, and Jesus gave it back with a name that goes deeper than the circle that goes to the household. Daughter, chosen one. I want to declare over you tonight, the condition does not name you. 12 years does not name you. The physician's failure does not name you. The empty accounts do not name you. The isolation does not name you. He names you, and the name he uses goes deeper than the crowd's categories. Your faith has made you well. Not, "I healed you." Not, "the hem healed you." Your faith, the specific, personal, 12 years of condition, still active faith that pressed through the crowd and reached for the edge of the garment. That faith, heaven is calling it by its name tonight, and that faith is yours. Now, let me speak to what is being released. Over your condition, I declare, the thing that has not responded to the physicians is not beyond the hem. Everything in the natural category has been tried. You have spent what you had. You have followed the directions. You have grown worse, not better, under the weight of trying. This is the exact setup that Exodus 15:26 was written for. I am the Lord who heals you, not I am the Lord who assists the physician, not I am the Lord who improves the prognosis. I am the Lord who heals. Present tense, direct, without an intermediary who takes credit. The 12-year condition that had no medical answer was healed in the moment the hem was touched. And the hem is reachable tonight. You are in the crowd. You have already been pressing. The fact that you are still watching, that you press through the content that usually causes you to scroll, is the pressing through. And the hem is closer than you think. Over your finances, I declare, she spent everything she had on physicians. The resources and the condition moved in opposite directions, resources out, condition worsening, and the restoration came not through a financial strategy, but through a hem-touching faith encounter that preceded the financial restoration. Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives you the power to get wealth to confirm his covenant. The power was not released through strategy, it was released through encounter, and the encounter came through pressing through 12 years of the condition and the crowd of obstacles and the logic that said this is not how things work. In the next 21 days, a provision will arrive from a direction that no physician prescribed, not the result of the strategy you have been running. Something that arrives the way the healing arrives suddenly, immediately, with only one explanation. The hem was touched, and the flow stopped. And the provision that was stopped will begin to flow. Over your identity, I declare, the 12 years of the condition had produced a secondary wound that was in some ways deeper than the condition itself. The isolation, the untouchable status, the having to stay at the edge of every gathering, the 12 years of not being in the center of things, the not belonging. And Jesus said daughter before he said anything about the healing. He addressed the identity wound before he confirmed the physical restoration. He named her into the household before he sent her into peace. Chosen one, the identity wound from the years of the condition, the thing you accepted about yourself as a result of what the condition seemed to say, is being addressed before the physical evidence arrives. Tonight, here, in this word, you are not defined by the 12 years. You are not named by the isolation. You are not characterized by the empty accounts and the physician's failure. You are named by the one who stopped in the middle of a pressing crowd to ask who touched him. He stopped for you. The crowd could not explain why he stopped, but he knew. He always knows when the touch is that kind of faith. Over your mind, I declare, 2 Timothy 1:7 says God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 12 years of the condition is 12 years of the body carrying what the mind had to process. The fear that comes with a condition that has no medical answer. The anxiety of watching resources drain. The weight that settles in the thinking when the thing that will not stop refuses to stop. The woman felt in her body that she was healed, not in her mind first. In her body, the physical was addressed directly, without a period of gradual mental adjustment, without the healing waiting for her to emotionally process the 12 years before the physical followed. Immediately, chosen one, the anxiety that has been living in the specific shape of your 12-year condition, the particular fear that has been operating in the space the condition created, is being addressed alongside the condition, not after. Alongside, in the next 72 hours, you will notice the mental weight that has been accompanying the condition begin to lift. Not because you resolved it, because the hem was touched, and the power that went out reached both. The sound mind is not a reward for mental discipline. It is a restoration that comes with the healing. It was given, 2 Timothy 1-7. Given, and what was given is being returned to the one who pressed through to receive it. Over your relationships, I declare. The condition made the woman ceremonially untouchable for 12 years. 12 years of not being able to reach out. 12 years of relationships maintained at the perimeter. 12 years of the particular loneliness of someone who is in the crowd but cannot be of it. And in a single moment, Jesus made her touched. Not by healing a physical symptom, by claiming her in public, by naming her daughter in front of everyone, by placing her inside the household, in the presence of the crowd that had been pressing around him. Chosen one, the relational isolation that the condition of your season has required the years of staying at the perimeter, of relationships maintained at arm's length, of the loneliness of being in the room, but not fully in the room, is ending at the same moment as the condition, not after a period of rebuilding, not after you have proven the condition is gone. In the same moment, the healing comes. He names you into the household. The belonging comes with the healing. It is not a separate step. It is the daughter declaration that accompanies the healing word. And in the season ahead, the people who are assigned to walk in the space that the isolation had kept empty, the ones who will recognize you as family, the way Jesus' word recognized the woman as daughter, are already pressing through the crowd toward you. Watch for the one who presses, the one who does not need to wait for all the evidence before they know who they are meeting. That one is assigned. Over your vindication, I declare. The woman tried to disappear back into the crowd. She knew what happened in her body. She tried to take the healing privately and remain anonymous. But Jesus asked, "Who touched me?" Not to expose her, to honor her. The disciples thought the question was impractical. The crowd thought the question was strange. But Jesus knew that a faith that pressed through 12 years and spent everything and grew worse under physicians and reached for the hem in the belief that the edge was enough, that faith deserved to be spoken of publicly, not quietly confirmed in a private exchange, named in front of the crowd. And he waited. He kept asking, looking around. He waited until she came forward. And then he spoke the words that the 12 years had not been able to produce, and the physicians had not said, and the isolation had never offered. Your faith has made you well. Chosen one, the faith you have exercised in the years when the condition was active and the physicians were failing and the resources were draining, that faith is about to be spoken publicly. Not by you, by the one who stopped. Luke 12:2 says, "Nothing is covered that will not be revealed, nothing hidden that will not be made known." What was hidden was not the condition. What was hidden was the faith that pressed through it, and that faith is being revealed in front of the crowd, in the form of the healing that has only one explanation. The one who stopped for you is going to make what he saw when you pressed through visible to everyone who was in the crowd. And the crowd will understand something they could not have understood before, why he stopped. Now I need to pause and speak to something with honesty, because the word about the hem tonight, the specific layer about daughter, about 12 years being the exact setup for the kind of miracle that has only one explanation. About touching the edge being enough that required someone to sit with Mark chapter 5 until the layer that speaks to your specific season became clear. To carry it to this platform, to make sure that when the person with 12 years of the condition presses through the content and reaches for something that might help, This is what they find, that work requires resources to sustain. And I want to be honest about that. YouTube has a feature called Super Thanks. It is below this video. Let me say clearly what it is and what it is not. It is not the hem. You do not touch it to receive your healing. Your healing was decided before you found this video tonight. Jesus stopped before the woman identified herself. The power had already gone out. The healing was already done. The daughter was already named. But there is something that happens when someone who received from a vessel chooses to honor the vessel. The woman came forward and told him the whole truth. She did not disappear into the crowd with the healing. She turned back. She fell down before him. She told the whole truth. If tonight this word was the hem you pressed through to reach, if daughter landed in the exact place where the 12 years had been keeping you unnamed, and you have the means to honor what came through, Super Thanks is the turning back. It is the falling down. It is the telling of the whole truth. This word reached me, and I want this platform to keep pressing through crowds to reach the next 12-year person who has spent everything on physicians and grown worse, small, voluntary, not a seed for the harvest. The harvest was authorized before tonight, an acknowledgement, a participation in what the word continues to do in the next crowd. And if this is not your season, if the accounts are what they are, and the 12 years are still very much active, your eye pressed through in the comments, is the pressing. It is the reaching for the hem, and the power that goes out from the garment is not withheld from the one who reaches with empty hands. That is the entire point of the story. Now hear the warning. Do not skip this. Because what happened to the woman after the healing is part of the word tonight. She tried to disappear back into the crowd. She felt what happened in her body, she knew, and she tried to withdraw quietly, unnoticed, back into the anonymity she had been living in for 12 years. It was familiar. Staying hidden was the posture the condition had required, and even after the healing, the muscle memory of the 12 years tried to pull her back into that posture. Chosen one, in the 72 hours after this word, lands in the window between the hem being touched, and the full evidence of the healing becoming visible. The 12-year muscle memory will try to do the same thing. It will try to pull you back into the anonymous posture, back to the edge of the crowd, back to the staying small that the condition required. And the invitation of this word is, do not disappear back into the crowd. Turn, fall, tell the whole truth. Let the healing be spoken over you out loud, because Jesus did not confirm the healing in the private moment. The power went out. He confirmed it publicly in front of the crowd. He called her forward. He named her daughter. He spoke peace over her in front of the people who had been pressing around him and had not understood why he stopped. He made the healing known. Chosen one, the healing that is coming in this season is not meant to be carried in silence back into the crowd. It is meant to be spoken in front of the crowd by the one who stopped. Archangel Michael stands guard over the pressing. His mandate, the crowd does not stop the hem from being reached. Every obstacle between the condition and the healing is being cleared. Isaiah 54:17 says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. The weapon of the 12 years is meeting its limit tonight. The weapon of the spent resources is meeting its limit. The weapon of the isolation and the unnamed status is meeting the word daughter. And no weapon formed against the daughter of the Most High shall prosper. Now declare this with me out loud. I press through. I press through 12 years of the condition. I press through the crowd of what has not worked. I press through the logic that says the physicians were the last option. I reach for the hem, not the hand, not the front row, not the elaborate ceremony, the edge, the outermost reach. The part that is reachable even from where I am, and I touch it, and I declare, I felt in my body that I am healed of the disease, not someday, immediately, not partially, completely, and I do not disappear back into the crowd. I turn, I come forward, I tell the whole truth, and I receive the name he is speaking over me, not the name of the condition, not the name of the 12 years, not the name that the isolation assigned, the name from his mouth, daughter. Son, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your disease. In Jesus' name, amen, my beloved child. If the hem was reached tonight, if the power that went out from the garment reached the exact place the 12 years had been living like this video, let it be the turning back. Let it be the coming forward. Let it be the choosing not to disappear back into the anonymous posture of the condition. Go to the comments right now and type, I press through. Let it be the whole truth being told. Let the crowd see the posture of someone who stopped hiding at the edge. Subscribe, because the word that follows this one speaks to what walking in the healing looks like after 12 years of the condition. How to carry the new posture when the muscle memory of the crowd edge keeps trying to pull back. How to receive being called daughter when 12 years taught you a different name. How to go in peace when peace is the most unfamiliar thing the body has been asked to feel. The word that follows is the instruction for the walking. Do not miss it. Find the person who came to your mind during this word, the one who has been at the physician's the longest, who has spent what they had and watched the condition worsen rather than improve, who has been standing at the edge of every crowd because the condition required staying at the perimeter. Send this to them. Tell them the hem is reachable, even from the edge, even after 12 years, even with empty hands. The power goes out to meet the reaching. Go now, my beloved child. Go as the one who pressed through, who reached for the edge, who felt the healing in the body before the confirmation came out loud. Do not go back to the anonymous posture. Turn, come forward, tell the whole truth. He stopped for you. In the middle of the pressing crowd, with everyone touching and no one touching, he stopped for you. And he is saying your name, not the name of the condition. Your name, daughter, son, go in peace and be healed. Amen.